This deafening noise is sounded by these machines every time production stops in this 24/7 textile factory producing school jerseys under sweatshop-style conditions, which is partly the reason behind the unexpected visitors at the gate. Police arrived at the factory located in KZN's industrial centre, Newcastle, just in time for the 7 p.m. shift, as part of a team probing violations in the production of our children's school uniforms here. Leading the raid is a familiar face. Deputy Labour Minister Jomo Sibiya. Accompanying him are Home Affairs officials and SAPS members, part of a stepping up of law enforcement focused on companies breaking the country's labour and immigration laws. Action intensified in the wake of widespread anti-migrant protests. As authorities got in, some workers made a run for it. On the other side of this massive factory, the owner's wife struggled to provide answers to authorities on her deserted factory floor.
From the Department of Labor. Hi, you must come down, okay? You get to work. Don't be scared. You get to work. You need to cooperate with us, okay? You get to conduct an inspection.
Of the 47 employees found that night, 26 were undocumented foreign nationals.
From? Okay. Sisi? Ikamala Kubani? From Malawi. Oh, okay. Do you have a passport? Where is it? Home.
Yeah, what we have found here is a classic example that explains the greed of capital, where you have a situation where employers employ illegal foreign nationals because they pay them less and they do not pay them within what is expected for them to be paid.
Behind the production floor, workers live on the premises in shocking conditions.
This is the toilet. You look at this. Very filthy. Very filthy.
These crammed rooms packed in up to 10 workers with little more than a mattress on a wooden plank to sleep on.
They sleep here like pigs. It's like they are animals. Like there are no windows, nothing exactly.
No ventilation.
No ventilation, nothing. If Lenda Wisha, they ain't gonna get spummed out. At times about killing a
Employees who'd fled the factory floor earlier emerged from underneath beds. The owner, Lefang Le, was unable to account for all his staff members.
How do you know how many people are working for you?
Your records, where you keep them? I don't keep land names. They're just working here every week, Friday. I finish.
It isn't just the lack of records that alarmed officials.
What they are paid is just something that we don't expect. We still have people here who are paid at 7 rands, who are paid at 18 rands an hour. They are underpaying. Their minimum wage is not complied with. Basic Condition of Employment Act is not complied with. People don't have contracts. They work long hours. Overtimes are not paid what they're supposed to be paid. They work from Monday to Sunday. So it's bad. It's terrible.
What would you say to someone sitting at home saying, but DM, this has been happening for years and your department knew about this?
At a certain point, everything must end. We can't say because it has been happening and we turn a blind eye and you allow it to continue.
The Department of Home Affairs is the only probably department that has a counter-corruption unit in it that deals daily deals with issues of corruption.
Where was this investigating unit all along when the rot and corruption was happening?
It has been an issue of capacity, I must say.
Hello everyone, Ganuchi Sarok and welcome to my channel. So that checkpoint episode aired last month, just before the 30th of June 2026, which was the deadline for undocumented foreign nationals to leave South Africa. So that's almost a month ago, but ENCA recently shared the video on their social media platforms. I'm reacting because I missed it and I believe it's still very much relevant. Yo, the shock I got watching this. People coming out from under beds, employers locking workers inside from the outside. Guys, what did we just watch? I like what the Deputy Minister said in response to those who might argue that this has been happening for years. He said, at a certain point, everything must end. You can't turn a blind eye and allow it to continue. I like this response because that's what usually happens when we're discussing issues like Chidima Adetshina's mother's identity fraud case, as well as Chidima, who is now facing deportation after allegedly submitting a fraudulent statement in her South African visa application, getting banned and returning to South Africa illegally via the Mozambican border. Some people say leave this lady alone because she's just one person out of millions. But that's exactly the point. At some point it has to end. If high profile cases are ignored simply because there are many others, it sets a bad precedent and undermines South African laws. I also like that the journalist asked the Home Affairs official, who mentioned that Home Affairs is probably the only department with a counter-corruption unit that deals with corruption daily. The journalist simply asked, where was this investigating unit all along while the rotten corruption was happening? A very pertinent question indeed. Anyway, do let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.